Hi, everyone. It's Leanne
Hi, I'm Helene. Welcome to Step Into Next, where we move together from what was to what's next.
in both business and life. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Leanne, what are we talking about today?
Okay, wait. I do have something to tell you, actually.
Okay, great.
It's pretty funny. First of all, what made me think about this before we sat down was I'm starving right now,
Shocking, yes.
but our teammate, Sammy, has incredible challah. So I had a little snack of her challah. That's the
Mm,
best challah I've ever tasted in my
so
entire
good.
life.
So good.
If you're in New York City, holidays, check it out.
Wow.
Um,
I want to have to
okay,
do that
but
again.
then it made me think, okay, I was like, I'm starving. I have my snack. I'm like, oh, my snack bag. And I do, of course, have a snack bag here, but I want to tell you about my snack bag that I brought on the plane
Oh, please do,
yesterday.
because we need a long tangent.
No, it's really quick, but
Okay.
really weird.
Because the outline's long.
So, I was leaving my apartment in LA for a few weeks, so I was cleaning out, using up everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So I made myself a sandwich on toasted Ezekiel bread,
Healthy.
cheese, and hummus. Not hummus, tofu with hot sauce on it. And I told my sister about it and she's like, I hope you tell Helene. And she says that's really fucking weird. And I was like, I don't think she's going to think it's that weird. But then what I did was I microwaved these like meatless sausages
Mm-hmm.
and I pull them out on the plane. They literally looked like dog food and they stunk up the whole area. And I'm just sitting there eating them. And the guy next to me is just looking at me like, and I was like, listen, dude, I'm hungry. I'm sorry. Because my hunger takes priority, as you know.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta be honest. Let's call your sister right now. That is really fucking weird.
I know.
All of it's weird. And here's the thing, it's weird, and yet I support you
Hmm.
while also being happy that I wasn't on the plane next to you.
Ugh, I know. But
But
you know what?
you know,
Back in the day, I used to bring broccoli and Brussels sprouts on the plane, and I don't do that
but I
anymore.
actually think that's more socially acceptable.
Really?
Yeah, I gotta be honest. Like veggies
Uh,
versus like a weird like
veggies?
vegetarian journey that
But
you're
they
going on for no
stink.
reason because you're not vegetarian. So why are you going for the meatless whatever breakfast patty or whatever the fuck you got? Anyway, I
Anyway,
I'm glad that you're hopefully not too hungry right now because I don't want to do a podcast with you while you're
I
hungry.
like to be a little hungry because it keeps me focused.
It's like a little
Right on
edge.
your pretty face.
Just a little edge. Okay, great. Well, I also had some paella and it's
Mm,
amazing.
it's so good.
Even though I really like
Where is it?
don't
Mm.
eat eggs because they're
Oh,
not they're not the thing that agrees with me the most.
that's right. You have your egg allergy.
It's an intolerance, and I have a lot of friends that would love to talk to you about that because nobody believes me, Leanne.
Let's dial them in right now.
Anyway, before we eat more challah, what do you want to talk about?
Okay, so last time we talked about the struggle
Hmm.
when you're struggling where you're at, kind of what you do about that, leading into maybe leaving something. We talked about playing motherfucking chess,
Yeah.
like Ben Horowitz
Mm,
told us to do in that article
play chess.
called The Struggle. But now I think we should talk about sitting in the space in between, quote
Mm.
unquote, and even embracing it and kind of how we do that and how we look at it. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a tough one. Down to do it.
Okay.
Wouldn't say it's easy.
No. Well, let's consult our outline because all right, let's start with thinking about moving from some the last big thing. There's a lot
Yeah.
of struggle, a lot of emotion, a lot of things. And you're kind of coming down the hill into the space in between. How do you deal with, or how did you deal with, like in City Row and all your other ups and downs, the come down?
Yeah. So one of the things that I've been grappling with a little bit as we kind of have this conversation is because I knew that the come down was coming,
Yeah.
I'm constantly trying to understand if that affected how I handled the come down. And I
Ooh.
don't actually know the answer to that because when I like kind of come full circle, I'm like, I'm actually just not sure you have any control over this
Mm,
period whatsoever. But for years, literally years, I knew the end was coming. And I think subconsciously, I started to put little things in motion. Like I really
sure.
do think that was the book for me,
Yeah.
was being like, you're gonna need something at some point
Mm,
during the come down. Like
mhm.
start to build your infrastructure in some capacity.
Do you think you did that intuitively or like instinctively or like really you were having those conversations with
I
yourself?
think it was instinctively.
Yeah.
I wasn't,
Like prepared for, you weren't saying the end yet.
I also don't think I would have intellectually known how to think about it.
Totally. Yeah.
So I definitely think that it was just subconsciously like
Yeah.
I was taking care of myself.
But that's so interesting because not even just in work stuff, but in my personal life, even when something is coming to an end, you kind of feel it in your gut and you almost start to mourn it a little bit and process it even subconsciously while you're still in it before you get to the next thing, which I think is, kind of maybe a good thing for as part of the process.
Totally agree. I think even though, and that is also part of recognizing that the end is coming, right?
Hmm.
Like, I think sometimes our guts know before we're ready to accept it.
Yes,
So there's an acceptance
totally.
element that has to come from it. Like, it's not, I wish it was just like a 1 second you just like, and you're ready and let's go.
Yeah.
It's oftentimes an evolution. And then figuring out what to do after, unless it's something where let's just take someone who's leaving a job,
Hmm.
for instance. There's the phases of realizing it's time to get a new job,
Hmm.
accepting it, figuring out how you're going to get a new job, right? So you're kind of mourning it and it's evolving. And then who knows? Maybe there's a chance you stay at the job, right? If they counter
Sure.
so like by the time you're ready to take the leap, it's actually a shorter leap because you've walked so far,
Sure.
right? And then there's a ramp up to the new thing. Maybe there's a post on LinkedIn about
Uh-huh.
it. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean?
Uh-huh.
It's official, it's clean. But I think the reason it's clean is because it's an evolution and
Yeah.
one that people have done before. So the path has been paved.
Yeah.
And other things stepping into nothing are much harder.
Totally. Yeah. Do you think you're good at, I've never asked you this. Do you think you're good at like processing pain, hard things like sadness, grief, any of those negative emotions? Or do you, like, my therapist tells me, I tend to jump right from feeling anything, pain, call it, into like glossing right over that and jumping into like everything's going to be fine and moving along. And I've started learning how to like actually process emotions. How are you at that?
I deflect with humor.
Yeah.
Very, but I
Attention
know about it.
diversion.
But I know about it. Like I'm
Okay.
very aware that I do it, and I'll even be upfront if like I'm having a tough combo with someone, or like if I'm sharing or I'm listening to them, I'll be like, oh well, I'm just deflecting with humor right now,
Okay.
and if that's working, then I'll keep going because sometimes people need that in a tough moment.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
also sometimes like I recognize myself not wanting to feel the feelings and
Interesting.
going right into that,
Yeah.
which I think is funny. And sometimes I need it, right? And so
Yeah.
if I'm doing it consciously and it's what I need at the time, God bless. But no, who's good at sitting in the bad feelings?
Well, I feel like it's kind of an important skill to learn, just sitting in it. In part of, I think, the space in between is some processing, literally leaving anything, but sitting in it and not necessarily jumping to the next thing right away.
Yeah, I am inclined to jump, kind of like you.
Hmm.
I also just like doing things. I like being creative. I'm in a much happier state. I can only sit around and read a book when I'm on vacation or sitting at a pool.
Sure. Yeah.
It's really hard for me to just like sit and be, particularly like during a weekday.
But you know what? I don't think sitting in the in between has to literally be doing nothing. I listened to this podcast, Rob Bell. He's friends with Elizabeth Gilbert. He's just like kind of a personal
Sounds
growth
cool.
guy. Yeah, I'll send it to you. But he talks about the episode is called Seasons, and just like there's always a season and a space in between the season, which he calls the liminal space.
Ooh, liminal
And yeah, it's a really
space. Are
good.
you podcasting?
I mean, I am.
Okay.
Um, and he just talks about how, like, throughout history, all the mystics and sages and everybody looked at the liminal space in between seasons as like a super creative time, a super magical time to think about and discover and create things for the next thing. So, to your
Yeah.
point, yeah, I just don't think we have to sit there and do nothing, but you can still not be on to the next big thing, perhaps.
I agree. And now that I've like been in this space for, a year and a half, like almost 2 years, and even longer if you kind of include the time that I knew the end was coming, which I
Yeah.
think is actually an important like phase of all of this.
Hmm.
I it's been so transformative. Like there's actually no way that I could step into the exact big next thing right away. Like I needed this time and space. And
Sure.
every like adventure, every setback, every win, every new project is definitely like leading to the next thing. And I think that what's been hard and now where I think I am a little bit further along is like I actually just like I trust that this is going to result in whatever it's supposed to result into, right?
That reminds me, you told me I had to read the book, The Surrender
Oh
Experiment.
my God.
Holy shit.
I know.
Okay. That book changed my
You're
life.
welcome.
Thank
Oh,
you.
I have to thank my friend Joel for it though.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay, Joel, we
unfortunately, he
love
gets all the
you.
credit for that. I
Thank
don't
you
want to
so
give it to
much.
him, but he gets it.
So, okay, The Surrender Experiment, for anyone who doesn't know, Michael Singer wrote
Untethered Soul.
Untethered Soul, which I tried to read a while ago and I just wasn't in the headspace for it. You were mentioning for many, many weeks and months The Surrender Experiment. I finally listened to it. And for whatever reason, it honestly has changed my perspective.
Me too, completely.
And like why okay, you tell me why what you think of it like from your perspective.
There, there's something that it unlocks as it relates to releasing control, right?
Amen.
And I don't think it needs to be any more than that,
Agreed.
right? I think people can go on and on. It's spiritual, it's this. He's like a big meditator. For me, what I took out of it was just like let's let things flow.
Uh-huh.
And even this morning, I was running a little bit late. And I was like, well, then it's for some reason, right? And maybe I was 10 minutes late to my dry bar because it just so happened that you were at dry bar too. And then we get to ride together. And like, okay, we were both 10 minutes late, but you know what? Probably those 10 minutes, like, were important foundation for our day together. And so whenever things are just like, I want to control them differently,
Mm-hmm.
I can lean on that. And it gives me like an internal sense of, peace. And that is a gift.
I agree. I'm totally with you because I'm a huge control freak. I've realized more and more, and I'm working on that. And this book has really been pivotal in helping me. I would also add, he talks a lot in the book about not just going with the flow in general, but especially when you're in something you don't prefer, like in a moment, in an experience,
Mhm.
whatever, and knowing you kind of alluded to it, but knowing that even that is somehow for your growth or greater good, even if it's literally just building resilience for things you don't prefer, you know?
I completely agree. I was thinking about this a lot because I read it a little bit before you. And shortly thereafter, I found myself in a literal middle of a war zone. And
You did.
I had to kind of keep on bringing myself back to like, why, why, how? Like, but there was solace in being like, there's something here.
Yeah.
Right. And now I'm like, okay, I actually think I was meant to spend 3 weeks with these
And there's
people.
literally something here,
Yeah,
someone
there
amazing,
is something here.
Sammy.
But like it is actually it's fascinating because whether or not you're like a spiritual person or what you believe in, like if you are a bit of a control freak, this helps, right?
Yeah,
It helps when it's like, oh, that person didn't text me back, and you're just like, okay, great, there's something else for me here.
totally. I love that. It
It's
really is.
resilient.
Everybody should read. Yeah, resilient.
Everyone should read. I listen to it.
I listened to it too.
I might listen to it again,
All right.
actually.
Wouldn't it be funny if we pressed play at the same time and walked around together? Or
I
is
think
that super
we're doing
creepy?
enough together. Anyway, what's next, Leanne?
Okay. So, well, I just think you and I had talked about with different endings that we both have experienced. The idea of self care, which we've also said is a pretty overused
Mhm.
phrase. And it also, I think, more than anything, self care can mean a thousand different things to a thousand different people.
I love it. Yeah,
Right. And we all love
I'm
it in our
fantastic at it.
versions of it. But it's all like, I'm like, if one more person says self care, what does that mean? I don't fucking know. But
Eye mask, massages, my
okay,
boots.
sure.
Yeah.
You keep telling us what's
Yeah.
your self care
I
routine?
mean, last night alone, I'm going to be honest with you. I did a mud mask
Oh, that's all
and then
nice.
I did my red light therapy mask.
Wow.
And
I
then I
need
had
one of
this
those.
new mask that my friend Cody told me about where you put it on. It's like a collagen, like hydrating mask and you sleep in it.
Oh, send me that link. Thank you,
Yeah.
Cody. But I think interesting
Should I
thing
keep
about
going? Okay.
no, I'm like, put the hook on her, please. Um, I think one interesting thing related to self care, excuse me, related to control, is like letting go of control. Because I use control as a coping mechanism, again,
For
according to my
sure.
therapist. How do I take care of myself in the space in between when things are uncertain without controlling everything? So I think that's kind of interesting, right? Like, for me, I'll say I've been learning, honestly, you mentioned meditation before. I've been learning to just like control my nervous system a little bit, meaning regulate it and like breathe, meditate, and chill out. And that kind of helps me in the in between. What helps
Yeah,
you?
I think journaling's been great for me.
Oh, yeah, you've been really getting into journaling.
Yeah, I love a gratitude practice that just like, shifts any kind of anxiety into like a better state. I also like I do believe in like setting yourself up for success in the beginning of the day. And if you can get in touch with what you need, what you want to do, what you want to accomplish, even if it's like, I want to read a book
Mm-hmm.
or I want to take a walk, like that helps the part of my brain that likes checking things off of a list or feeling like I did something in that day, even if the goal of the day is to rest.
Yeah,
I feel good being intentional about my time.
that's good. Yeah, that's like a nice, it's like soft control. Like you
Yeah.
can just be like put it out there, but not grip to the exact outcome. Like
Yeah.
if you want to read a book, but you end up, going to lunch with a friend or working on
Yeah.
something, so be it.
And sometimes for me, it's also being like, okay, well, I could overplan this day. And I could say, okay, I'm going to go play tennis. I'm going to get a smoothie. Then I'm going to go to Whole Foods. I'm going to make a return. I'm going to do this, this, and this. And then
You
sometimes
sound like a real housewife with that schedule.
I could be a fantastic one for
With
a
those
short period of
pants
time.
too. I love them.
I know these nails.
And then
Um, you want to talk about my nails? It's
I
also
said
self
the
care.
pants and the nails.
It's a
Like,
lot.
it's amazing. I'm not making fun of you. That's a sincere compliment.
I thank you. I think that what I've learned to appreciate though is that if I leave space for things to evolve, like cool things can happen if I'm not overplanned or I'm super flexible. Like last weekend, I had a friend at like 4 p.m. on a Sunday give me a call and be like, let's go for a walk. And this friend of mine, like, it's hard for us to schedule. And because I'd left space I wasn't like, oh, well, I got to read my book now, which is a version of me from years ago.
Sure.
So I don't know. For me, the space in between it's a, it's a balance that is constantly swinging in both directions of surrender,
Mm-hmm.
control, belief, and then where I constantly have to bring myself back to because I still fall into oh man, what am I going to do next?
Yeah.
Right? Like people ask me all the time. I was on a trip last week. People are like, okay, amazing that you did that. What's next? And my first gut answer is fuck you.
Mm.
That's what I'd like to say. Right? Like I deserve a break. And also, who says I have to do anything else? Like that was enough. Right? But it kind of triggers something inside me that knows that I'm not yet like fully reaching my full potential.
Yeah, and you have to pay your rent too, you know.
That too, yeah. Details.
There's the real housewife mentality again.
Totally. So there is that aspect of though the pendulum swinging for me
Mm-hmm.
in terms of like, okay, nope, Helene, you have to just trust. Just trust that whatever is meant to unfold, whatever your labyrinth is going to deliver will deliver. And I have to constantly, that's the voice in my head.
Yeah, mine's very similar, but I would say I've gotten really good at, I've always been really good at change,
Mm-hmm.
but I've gotten really good at living in uncertainty and just
Yeah.
accepting that uncertainty is part of life. I mean, I've said this before. Here's one of my Bible quotes: "When you make plans, God laughs." Like, so I'm just like, all right, things are uncertain.
Yeah.
This is how it's going to be, and I feel like that is kind of resilient, related to resilience too.
Yeah. I think it's an important place to be during this great era.
Sure is, and I'm so glad I'm here with you.
Me
All
too.
right, I think that's it for today, right?
It sure is. Thanks for
Okay.
joining us from what was to what's next.
Yay, step into next.